Look, I'll just give you an update on Capella Minerals. For those who don't know the company, we are involved primarily in looking for gold and copper throughout Scandinavia and Canada. We are a TSX listed company primarily, but we do also have a secondary listing on the OTCQB, and we also have another listing on the Frankfurt Exchange as well too. So I guess the key story from our perspective is that we are, particularly in the Norwegian copper assets, we are looking at mining scale or district scale exploration projects in former mining districts. So the forward-looking statements, you would have seen a few of these today already. If I look at the company's portfolio, so again, just going from left to right, no particular order here, but in Canada, we do have 2 gold joint ventures. So these are projects that we don't manage on a day-to-day basis. We have 1 gold joint venture in Manitoba, which is called Domain. That's a joint venture with Yamana Gold. It's a project, it's a fairly advanced stage project, has about 10,000 meters of drilling on it. It's essentially a 70-30 JV, and it's a participating joint venture. Yamana right now is taking that project through drill permitting, and we do look forward to, at some point here, getting some further drill meters into that. The second project in Canada is Savon Lake, which is a joint venture with Prospector Metals. That was the former Ethos Gold, part of the Discovery group of companies. They are on the path to a 70% earn-in. And Savon Lake at the moment, there are people on the ground, and Prospector is looking at drilling this here in Q3. But our main focus in terms of the projects that we manage 100% are the Scandinavian assets. So we have 3 copper projects in Norway, we have 1 gold project in Sweden, and we have 1 gold copper project in Finland. If I look at the copper projects in Norway, these are especially massive sulfide type deposits. We have 2 drill stage projects, which are Kjøli and Løkken, and we have 1 resource stage project, which is Hessjogruva. And Hessjogruva was the latest addition to the portfolio. That was just a month ago. In terms of Finland, as I mentioned, we are in the central Lapland Greenstone Belt. Mostly gold and copper are the targets there, and 1 gold project in Sweden. In terms of capital structure, current market cap at the moment, actually, it's about 9 million Canadian, so it's a very cheap entry point for the quality of the portfolio that we do have. I do believe very strongly in the portfolio. We do have basically 4 major shareholders that control about 50% of the shares. The largest shareholder is a private group out of Austria called Frucht Express. They have acquired the shares specifically on the back of the Norwegian copper assets. In terms of the 2 Canadian corporates, we have Sandstorm Gold, we have EMX Royalty as well, and management also holds just under 10%. For those of you who don't know who we are, we do have a track record of success. We have previously been involved with Mariana Resources. Before then, I was also involved with Extorre Gold Mines. And of course, Mariana was the owner of a joint venture partner in the Hod Maden discovery in Turkey, and was acquired basically by Sandstorm in 2017. So if I look at our goals for Norway, so the idea is these are former mining districts. So if I start in the northern part of the Røros mining district, so we're in central Norway here, this is Trøndelag province. So we have 2 projects here. We have the Kjøli project. We have completed the drill targeting here. We have 4 targets. We have 4,000 meters of drilling permitted, and we do look forward to getting this drilling happening soon. Recently, we did also just acquire this Hessjogruva project. It is a resource stage project. It has a non-43-101 compliant resource of 3 million tonnes at 1.7% copper, 1.4% zinc. Mineralization open down depth, and the idea here is that basically what we're looking at is establishing a mining scale district in this area. So basically we have a resource at Hessjogruva. We have also just acquired some claims in an area called Kongensgruva, which is very close nearby. And the strategy here is to look at building a 10 million tonne district with feed coming into a central processing facility. So that's basically the goal for us here in this particular area. The other thing I will mention too is that these copper assets are really multi-commodity. Our main focus is on copper, cobalt and zinc, but of course there's also gold and silver in these assets as well. Just a couple of comments on Hessjogruva. This is just a section. This is the most recent acquisition to the portfolio. And really does bolster that Kjøli district in terms of a much more solid, tangible asset. Obviously, we have this, it's had 12,000 meters of drilling on it. There is mineralization well defined on this project. As I mentioned, a non-43-101 compliant resource of 3 million tonnes or so. But obviously lots of potential to grow, and particularly down depth. You'll notice that the last drill hole on that section there, you've got 14.5 meters at almost 5% copper equivalent. So this is, a project that really has some good grade and some good potential to be extended down dip as well too. So this is a project that we look forward to taking forward this year. The plan basically is to complete a 43-101 compliant resource for the project in the next months, and then before the end of the year to complete some of the initial scoping level mining studies that would form part of a preliminary economic assessment. The other project that we have in Norway is called Løkken. This is a former mining district again. So the old Løkken mine was one of the biggest massive sulfide deposits of its class anywhere. It was 24 million tons at 2.3% copper, 1.9% zinc. What we have been exploring for is looking for extensions to the old deposit, plus looking at some of the satellite deposits around there. June and July of this year, we'll complete the drill targeting, and the plan is by around October, we should be ready to drill the highest priority targets here. So we do look forward to also testing this Løkken district as well in the second half of the year. Finland is one area that we've been very active as well too, and if you look at this slide, so basically we are in northern Finland. This is the Central Lapland Greenstone Belt. This is a belt which is very active, particularly amongst Canadian companies. You have Rupert Resources, which have been very successful there. You've had Orion, you've had B2 Gold, Agnico Eagle, and Kinross. So there's many companies operating in this part of the world. Rupert's Ikari discovery, one of the biggest, and of course what we have been doing here, we've taken our 200 square kilometre piece of ground. We've just recently completed a high-resolution drone magnetic survey. We have a couple of targets already well defined. So we have in the northwest corner, we have some potential extensions to Outokumpu Oy's former Satapora mine. But one of the key targets for us here on this project is a bottom of till anomaly which was generated by Anglo American probably over a decade ago, which is called Kilero. Absolutely sensational copper gold numbers on surface, and the plan is to get this into discovery drilling as quickly as we can, and likely over the next winter. Just in terms of the Canadian joint ventures, as I mentioned, so Savon Lake, this is the joint venture that's in the hands of our joint venture partner, Prospector Metals. They have people on the ground as we speak. The plan here is to be drilling this in Q3. One of the good things for us from our perspective is that they are, as Prospector is still on the earn-in, this is basically where we fund this work, we fund it at their cost, and will generate some good news flow for us here during Q3. And basically the main target here is high-grade gold in these deformed iron formations. So we're looking for equivalents to the Musselwhite mine, which is just down the road. The second joint venture in Canada is Domain. So this is the joint venture with Yamana. We are evaluating strategic alternatives. It does have almost 10,000 metres of drilling on it. And the plan for us essentially here is to take this either to push the project forward through further drilling, or to look at potential alternatives which could include monetising the asset. So value drivers, what's going to drive the value for the company here during the second half of the year? So if we look at what was achieved during the second quarter, so we did complete the Hessjogruva acquisition. That's the advanced stage project in the Kjøli district. We did complete some new staking around that Kongens area, which I should have also mentioned too. That was a former processing facility. It did have a tailings dam, and it would be a logical processing facility for future processing in that district. We completed the high-resolution drone magnetic survey here in Finland. So what we have coming up in H2, we have a very busy program. We have the core drilling at Savon Lake, which of course is funded by our partner Prospector. We have the final drill targeting, which will be June, July here at Løkken, leading up to a drill program here around October or so. And then we have the permits in hand for core drilling at the Kjøli project. In parallel, of course, we have the advanced stage Hessjogruva project, which will now go through that 43-101 compliant resource drill planning, and of course leading up to those the drill studies and the PEA type studies towards the end of the year. So that's basically they're the main value drivers for the company, and we look forward to keeping the market updated as we move forward.